Peace, quick little think fast. The subconscious programming of euphemisms. And it's not just euphemisms, but basically, there's this social engineering and subconscious programming to have people feel that if somebody's talking to you in a soft voice, or if somebody's talking to you like a scientist or a business executive, that whatever they're saying, it's cool, because they're saying it in that voice. So when a government official talk about, we just had to put down a few. I'm trying to think of some of these good euphemisms, not good, but these euphemisms that they use, like instead of saying they went kill somebody in a country, they like, oh yeah, we had to exterminate 30 insurgents. Like they use names that people won't associate with homicide and killing and being murderers. They use words that make it seem like they're actually, saving you or doing a favor. But also, like with a certain image, they have a vibe of like, if somebody could be speaking on killing somebody, but as long as they, like, so say for instance with the news, they have this newscaster and they be like, oh, today they found out how to manipulate DNA with the CRISPR effect. It may be something amazing, like, they say something that is, they speak on things that's very detrimental and harmful to us, but because they say it in this light voice with this vibe of like, oh yeah, this should be great. Matter of fact, like they actually had a newscaster speaking on like using children's blood as a fountain of youth. Like they actually had this. I gotta post it on my Instagram because I have it. Matter of fact, shout out to Brethren Rizla Islam because he posted it. But basically, on the news later, like, oh yeah, and scientists have found out that children's blood actually may help be the fountain of youth. So in so many words, trying to make people at ease with fucking sacrificing children. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like sticking the head through the door in order to start making you comfortable with some bullshit. And again, it comes in euphemisms and comes in this vibe in order for you to be comfortable in it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with like like a person that only wants somebody to speak, like if they want to learn about chakras and stuff, they don't want to learn it from somebody who curse and speak loud and this and that. Like, I want you to have a soft voice and this and that. Well, you're not really trying to learn about this spirituality, because there it is. Well, look how lost that mind frame is. I could only learn this. I only want to listen if you speak to me in this nice, sweet voice, and I'm helping reinforce that programming even more if I was to comply to that bullshit. But they use again this vibe of again, instead of saying murdering or killing, they use other little euphemistic words, you know what I'm saying, like man, see, this be the perfect time to have some good examples. But again, this thing fast, going with the fly. Because I just think about, again, like where with the transhumanism vibe, like where they going, oh yeah, don't, having a robot would be great. They not, they make it seem, they make disconnection from, they make social disconnection seem like something that should be fun. Like, it would be fun for us to all be sitting in our houses and not connect with each other and instead use robots in virtual reality instead of actually playing with each other and connecting with each other, and really being social. Like, hey, how about this new robot we're developing, you know what I'm saying? Or how about we just manipulated DNA and helped create a baby in somebody's womb, so now we could manufacture babies, But they say it in which that's things that that's things that you should take on a degree as if they was like, I'm gonna eat your babies and fuck over all, you know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that they are saying, the type of subject matter, should be taken as if they are saying it on that level. Because I mean, what's the difference? Just because a motherfucker talking about I'm gonna rip your throat out and replace it with a robot, just because they say that nicely, oh, well, that sounds pretty cool, just because they say it in a soft and euphemistic manner, you know what I'm saying, then, oh, it sounds cool, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta become more, aware. And this is kind of like a little rant, again, just kind of a vibe that came to me, and how, again, people in their spiritual growth, that new age movement, bullshit people into this vibe, or I could only, spirituality is only spoken in a soft voice, like a meditation, and if you don't speak like this, then you're not spiritual. If you don't talk like you're instructing a yoga class, reach down for your ankles, bend over, put your head in the sand, put your ass in the air, and let them ream you from behind. Just envision the government reaming you in your ass from behind as you stretch out and stick your head in the ground like an ostrich and put your knees to the floor and bow down and allow for these energies to overtake you. Now you see what I just said, but because I said it in this voice, and again, that's what I'm pointing to, though, that they subconsciously program everybody to feel like if somebody's saying something in a softer voice or with a softer tone, then it's good, even if they're saying, oh yeah, we're celebrating, at this plantation, we're celebrating years of festivities and having fun and this and that. Instead of saying, oh, at this plantation, we're using the ancient slaves who we fucked over energy, and we're having fun and celebrating. Come meet us at Magnolia Mound to have a fun Christmas and this and that. When Christmas, again, euphemism and things that actually take you further away from your soul, but because it's presented as this, again, presented with this voice and presented with these euphemisms, and again, it creates a certain social engineering amongst people, where even if you know better, when you're hearing somebody talk in a softer voice or use certain euphemisms, it'll still give off a vibe as if that's the thing to go to. Kind of like, again, with spirituality, if I showed you a person that didn't curse and had more of a nicer demeanor, talking about chakras, crystals, and things like this, and I showed you somebody that was cursing and, kind of loud and outspoken vibe, they did a survey, people were more so, in which I feel like this vibe should be changing up more and more as people learning better and realizing the situation. But more people are gonna gravitate towards the nicer talking, quieter demeanor, not using curse words, and people gonna gravitate towards that. You know what I'm saying? Again, because also this church vibe, the dogmatism of religion and church create this vibe that in order to be holy, you gotta walk around with this monk-like vibe, like you're just coming out of a vow of silence. As a matter of fact, I fell victim to being influenced with that little thought, that little, like I say, that little thought form or whatever, is thinking like, all right, I gotta be but I see a balance too. I see that, the like being silent and certain things. These certain things do help, meditation, being silent for so long. Like, these things do help, but again, this is not the only way to be spiritual. Like, you don't have to do these things in order to be spiritual. Like, you should know that everything you do spiritual. If you spit on the floor, on the ground, that shit's spiritual, because you're a spirit, you're a source on a human experience. Everything you do is beautiful and soulful, you know what I'm saying? So when you're using, finances or money, how we've been taught to look at it as bad or look at it as evil and this and that, because look at what these people doing with it, instead of looking at what people who are raising vibrations are doing with revenue. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool, you know. And when I go to screw in a screw on a window, or you know, if I'm doing some type of work, I'm not gonna try to use my hands, you know, and be like, oh well, you know, I'm gonna use, you know, I'm capable of using less, so I'm gonna go with less to do this job. But no, I want to do the best. I want to be able to screw this screw in the best way possible, and that means using the best tool, using a screwdriver. You know what I'm saying? And using a screwdriver that's actually real good at, you know, would allow for me to do this at a much more efficient rate. You know, where I get to use less energy and still provide and still do a good job at what I'm doing. You know. All because of that tool I use helping me, you know what I'm saying? That tool making it easier and allowing for me to do a more efficient job, you know. You know, basically, you know, that's the whole thing with, you know, that vibe with money is it's a tool, you know. But, you know, that's basically it, you know, just realizing how much, you know, again, subconscious programming. Like, matter of fact, how I talked about the vibe with Eckhart Tolle. Like, you know, not saying that Eckhart Tolle is trying to subconsciously program and social engineer people into dealing with spirituality, you know, with that soft voice vibe and this and that. But I see where, you know, mainstream, you know, media would want to put him, you know, put Eckhart Tolle on blast because of his quiet demeanor. But that doesn't mean he's purposely doing that, you know, to be along with that that agenda, you know. It's but again, that just because he has that subtle vibe, they're like, yeah, we want to tag spirituality with that vibe. Instead of a vibe like a Bobby Hemmett or Phil Valentine, they want you to look at a person speaking on spirituality like that as, oh, they don't, you know, that's not right, you know, that ain't the way to do it, and this and that, you know what I'm saying? So just keeping that in mind, y'all. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past.